Hello. Once again, you are welcome.
Welcome.
This is your favorite family show on EWTV. We are here again as always, and we are the
Edes.
Thank
Today
you
we
so
are
much.
on Touch of You.
Yes, we're on Touch of Yellow. Don't you like it?
You like
Thank
it.
you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, so our series has been ongoing on the ways I can water my seed. This is my seed. How can I water my seed? Yes. Thank you. Proudly his seed. Yes, and how can you water your seed to have a flourishing marriage? Okay, so we have taken it. It's been a long ride, but I'm sure you've had fun all through the ride. Now today we want to take questions. We had a lot of questions coming in, so we had to put a stop and take questions. I'm sure as you listen, you would also find answers to questions. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you very much. So,
yes,
what's the first question?
We have a few questions to take. Please bear with us if we don't take your questions, but we will take them subsequently as they come. All right, the first question we have here says, this looks like a man speaking. He said, I want to spend time with my family.
Okay.
But I rather spend my time on my phone.
Wow.
Says anytime I am not on my phone, it's like something has been taken away from me. It's ruining my relationship with my family. Please, what do I do?
Wow. Thank God he has first discovered that it's a problem. Because one thing we see with this phone and couples and the use of phone is that most people don't see it as a problem. So even when one party is seeing it as a problem, the other is saying, what's wrong with it? It's not a problem. I'm there with you. What's your problem? But he's discovering that it's a problem. That is the first step, knowing that yes, this is actually a challenge I need to deal with, and I want to congratulate that man. Say, yeah, that is a good one. And knowing this first step, next thing is that we can't deal with this without the help or the input of your wife. You need one another to deal with. After discovering that this is a problem, you need to also open up to your wife, your husband, to say, this I'm struggling with this, affecting me. I can see, even when the other person is not seeing it as a problem, explain. Now this is what I'm struggling with. I'm seeing that this thing is affecting our time together, and I need you to help me. So both of you will now join your hands together and now put measures in place. You can now say, okay, since I've known this, can we now say, okay, once it's 10 p.m., everybody, it's okay for the day, our phones are done for the day. Can we say when we are on the table to eat, nobody uses his phone? Can we say when we are talking, everybody drops his phone? You now put measures. When you see those areas that are you're having issues, you now put measures so that both of you will now agree to that, oh, yeah, these are the right measures we need to put. So that once it's that time, she reminds you, oh, it's 10 p.m. Oh, fine. Once it's that we are eating, oh, we're on the table. Oh, that's fine, because you have both agreed. First you understood the problem, you have put measures in place, you agreed, and you're now holding each other accountable. You're now watching over one another. I'm telling you, it's going to be a beautiful ride. You're going to see a lot of changes once you cooperate with the process and your intention about it.
Yes, so that's also very important. And also, even in cases where you see it as a problem, and then your spouse is okay with it. Maybe he's working from phone, she's working, there's no problem. But you have seen it as a problem. Like you said, that's the very first step. Then you need to now explain to your spouse, make your spouse know that this is a problem with me and I need help. And of course, still put measures in place. And I want to say to the spouse who is helping, please help with love. Don't sit on your spouse's head because he has found a problem. Help with love. Okay, do it politely.
Very true.
And you both will walk through that process of healing.
And then when your spouse is not seeing it as a problem, you have seen it as a problem, it takes a lot of wisdom and to speak with that person, to communicate, because the person sees it as no problem and you know it's a problem. You need a lot of wisdom to communicate that. Say, dear, I think this thing is taking our time. Can we sit down and talk frankly? be open and be polite. Talk in love, so that the person will understand your viewpoint. Because some people already have a wall. When you want to break that, they block it immediately. Know the right time to present that and know how to talk to your spouse about it.
All right. Okay, so we'll take the second question very quickly. Another person is asking, you talked about eating together at the table as family.
Okay.
What is the importance of eating with your family at the table?
Yeah, it's very important. And when we talk about table, we're not just emphasizing more on physical table. Yes, because not everybody have table or dining table in their house, or even the center table. So that you don't have a table, does that mean you can't eat at the table? When we are talking about eating at the table, we are talking about more about family time, bonding, and paying attention to one another. So it's really important because at the table, or whether physical or non-physical, you learn to really understand your child even in that place. That's where a child has even trouble. The way that child is eating, you tend to know what is going on. One of the things we even deliberately do at the table is allow the children to eat, sometimes even serve themselves. It's also a place where you can even learn whether your child is content, whether your child knows how to even serve, to eat, or whether he's a greedy person. It's a place to learn values. It's just a place of bonding and getting to know one another as a family. That's where you even discover something that you need to speak to the child even beyond that table and say, we saw this, or they're learning from you how to eat, how to be content, how to just have what they have, they're able to get per time. It's a lot of learning that happens at that time.
Yes, thank you. So it's really very important. Learning takes place even at the table. As you sit with family together, you see some things to correct and you see some values to add. So that is important. Yes, so I'm really thinking we should take a short break.
Yeah, we need to take a short break. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles. And if you have questions concerning what we're talking about, please feel free to drop a comment, send us a mail, send us a private message, and we'll be sure that we'll reach out to you. Please don't go away. Join us again. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. Welcome back. Okay, so we take another question. We have another question here that says, our teenage girl likes to wear skimpy clothes and we don't like it. We have spoken to her severally, but she wouldn't listen. How do we handle this? Okay. Yes, this also goes to talk about certain values as family. We think that this is a foundational issue, right? Teenagers have come to the point where they have almost become formed. And whatever you try to do at that point is repair. Okay? So, this child, possibly, there were some things that the parents should have noticed while she's growing and should have handled it. But for whatever reason, that was left aside. So, for this teenager, the truth is you cannot keep throwing it at her. Teenagers don't listen like that. When you want to pick it up as a fight and you want to yield, they don't listen like that. You need to set time to sit with her, especially the mother, and speak with her. Talk with her, not just once, not twice. You have to keep doing it again and again and be investing in prayers. Because if whatever you will say to a teenager will work, then you must have said that to God about that teenager on your knees. Yeah. That is only when it works. So she may pick offense at first, but you need to keep doing it again. And I want to say, you would have to first of all win the space of that child. You will have to first of all win the heart, connect with the child before you can correct the child. If you have not connected, correction may almost be impossible. You keep going back and forth. So spend time with the child, frank talk, teach the child future life situations, what that can lead to. And please bring in scriptures. Teach the child from the Bible what the Bible says about this and what can happen if this is not correctly and if this is not corrected. And with time, with prayers, the child will come around. Okay? But you must be careful with the foundation of your children. What are you putting on for your child as a little baby? Check. Make sure you don't just wear anything for the child because that is a child. Okay, be careful, especially with those of us that have little children. Be careful. Be very careful. The child will grow to become what you placed in the foundation.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I know the teenage is a very critical time. They want to explore, they find they are adults now. So as you have this frank discussion with them, make sure you bring them to people come to a place of understanding. It's not you are discussing to impose, but you are discussing to understand, help her to see how life is and how she needs to rightly adapt to the right values of life. When you have those conversations open that are very good, they are skillful in helping her understand, she will also begin to grow in it and come out of that struggle.
Thank you. All right, so finally we'll take one last question. You say, I observe at our eating table that my little child is never satisfied with the portion of food given to him. He always likes to pray into his younger brother's food, even when we give him a larger quantity. How do we help?
It's good you observe. That's why we talk about eating together as a family, because you're able to understand and know that issue because you're sitting to eat together. But don't shy away from it. Don't be a parent that will say, she's a small girl now, give her every time. The same thing she will do that to visitors, she will do that to everybody, and that child will grow not to be content with what he or she has. So you need to nip it at that stage. No, darling, dear, you need to know what is given to you and know your portion and take it. You don't take another person's, be content with what you have. So you teach that child contentment at that age, helping her to know that this is her own. She don't pray into other people's property. Don't say she's a child, she's 2 years. By the time you help that child to practice that for some time, she will get used to it. She will adjust to know that, this is how I should do. If she's not satisfied, she should go to the parents and say, mommy, I'm not satisfied. And when you see sincerely that, she needs more than you add. So you begin to teach children values at that time. Don't just say they are small, they will grow over it. No, they will live with that and grow to be children who are never satisfied with whatever is given them and who feel they can take whatever they want. And that's how children become bullies. So learn to curtail that at that stage and sincerely know when she needs more, and she should know the right source to receive from. And when it's not there, she should learn to be happy and move on. Teach that child at that stage.
Yes. I always have this belief. Take the pain to instruct a child, right? So that you don't have pain correcting tomorrow.
Very true.
So take that pain, instruct. It's going to take a lot because the child will do a lot of crying. Crying. Sometimes children cry and get into the head. The child will cry, the child will do, but it will be painful to instruct at that age. It's better than the pain of correction tomorrow that you may never even achieve. Okay, so it's okay to correct that child early, to instruct the child. No, be content with what you have. And contentment is a great lesson to teach children. It's a very big lesson to teach our children. There are so many questions coming up from that, but we will just need to stop here at this time. Thank you so much. I'm sure you have learned a thing or two. Remember, it is about practicing. Thank you so much for joining the EDES on Homefront. This is EWTV. See you again next week.
Bye.